I was at the East Windsor Planning Board meeting about the proposed expansion of the QTS data center. And what I witnessed that night should matter to everyone who cares about this community. I watched residents sit in that room for hours, waiting for their turn to speak. Parents, seniors, neighbors, people who came because they care about the future of this town. The meeting, it went on and on. And as the hours passed, people started to leave, not because they didn't care, but because the process made it almost impossible to stay. By the time public comment finally began, the room was smaller than it had been at the start. But the voices that remained were very clear. Residents asked serious questions, questions about electricity demand, questions about water, questions about infrastructure, and questions about the many variances requested for the project. And one simple question kept coming up again and again. And that is, do we actually have all the information we need yet? Because during that hearing, several important things became very clear. The final design for the JCP&L electrical substation has not yet been submitted. The tenant that will operate inside the new data center has not been disclosed. And future power demand, it depends on tenants that haven't even been identified yet. In fact, the board's own attorney said the board cannot vote yet. But why? Because they have not been provided with all the information necessary. And then residents were told something that stopped many of us in our tracks. The next hearing will be April 27th, and this will be the only notice. They literally said that to us. For a project of this size, one that could shape this town's infrastructure and energy demand for decades, that moment should make all of us pause. Because what I heard in that room wasn't chaos, it wasn't hostility, it was a community asking for something very simple: transparency, clarity, and the chance to be heard. That's not obstruction, that's democracy. The conversation about this project isn't finished. The hearing continues April 27th, and if you care about the future of East Windsor, now is the time to stay informed. Ask questions and make sure your voice is part of that conversation.
You will not receive any further notice. You will not receive any further notice.